Morning, Cowboys. Mike Fisher reporting from the kitchen and from Frisco, Texas, home of your Dallas Cowboys. Full day at the Star today. We invite you to jump in the back seat and come along with us. We're going to touch on 3 issues today. If you give me 10 minutes, I will give you the Cowboys world, plus your questions, comments, and using the brief fund, anything you want to pitch into the super chat, we will certainly get to you there. We do enjoy those likes. They help beat the algorithms, and we do enjoy you hitting the subscribe for free button, because I find this to be information that's exclusive, presented in an entertaining way. The 3 issues of the day. Issue 1, Troy Aikman leaving Fox. What? Issue number 2, the Cowboys' aggressiveness. 4th and go for it. And issue number 3, Dan Quinn finally admits to being pissed and embarrassed. To the lead story for us this morning. And again, over the course of the day, we'll have visits with Cowboy players. We'll hang out at Cowboy practice. We'll get a firsthand look at Tyron Smith or not. We'll keep you posted on that. And we'll do a video from the Star at about noontime today with an update on what's what. Also, we'll give you injury updates, and we've discussed a lot of this. If you go search Fish Report, Tank Lawrence, Fish Report, CeeDee Lamb, Fish Report, Monkey Butt. No, don't do that one. So Amazon is going to purchase the rights to Thursday Night Football starting next year. Now, if you're not familiar with all the buttons and the gizmos and the whizmos, which I'm not, because Marsha is the only one in this house that can run the TV. My first dull-headed thought is, Aikman's going to go work for Amazon? Won't that be something when he drives up in a truck? But no, for a delivery.
Oh, usually they use vans.
Vans. When he drives in a big blue van, big cowboy blue van, and out comes Troy wearing high knee socks, up to blue high knee socks.
Well, that's your fashion statement. Right?
But of course, Amazon is now more than just packages that come to your door over and over and over again in this house. It's television, of course. The word is that Amazon wants to go get Troy and Al Michaels. And, if you're a fan of Al Michaels, and I think most people recognize that he's one of the best who've ever done it, and who's not a fan of Aikman, that is a dream team of sorts. Now, Chris Collinsworth might be going over, what about me? Why? I thought I was the dream team. No, Chris, you're not. And certainly Joe Buck is going, listen, my daddy told me I was the dream team. What's going on? If Amazon could put this together, would Aikman leave Fox? Thank you, Charlie P. Troy is going to be delivering for Amazon. Thursday Night Football. He'll be delivering it to your television every Thursday night. Aikman has yet to say yes to this, but I don't know why he wouldn't. He and I have had the conversation about Tony Romo and $20 million a year. And Aikman was ecstatic for Romo. But mostly when that happened, Aikman was ecstatic for Aikman. Because if Tony Romo gets $20 million a year, then Aikman gets $20 million and one. As far as I'm concerned. And I think as far as Troy's concerned too. So the next question would be, does Aikman leave Fox? And that's not completely clear yet. He could certainly do both once. And they make him do both now. He does Thursday nights now, sometimes, of course. Again, based on my conversations with him. His view is that doing the one game a week that he does, and I've watched him in a week's preparation, so I'm with him. He said, that's a job. The way I prepare for one game is a full-time job. Now, let's be fair and honest. And then comes the off season, when all he ever does in the off season is frolic on the beach with his family, right? And put up incredibly gorgeous pictures of himself, according to Marsha, on Instagram. She follows that for me. She's part of the 75-member staff. Key. So it is a full-time job in season, and it's shake hands and kiss babies in the offseason, and he's about to make $20 million to do that. I don't think he wants to put it to Fox exactly, although when Fox made their big hire a couple of years ago, again, different department, they don't go to the company picnic together. Troy and Skip will not be at the company Christmas party together, but he didn't like that. So if he's got any sort of bone to pick with Fox, this would be a way to pick it. And we will monitor. We'll try to talk to him here in the next couple of days about that. Item number 2. So finally, DQ comes clean. He said all last week, "Oh no, I never look back. I don't look back." His favorite saying he says all the time is, he says something like I stay where my feet are, or something like that. Meaning I don't look ahead, I don't look back. I'm just right here. I'm in the moment. And this is a wonderful Zen-like philosophy. But he admitted this week in looking back on having been dismissed in Atlanta, he goes, "I was pissed and I was embarrassed by getting fired in mid-season." That's what happens. You're pissed and you're embarrassed. And I would say this last week, inspired too. Pissed, embarrassed, and inspired. And now the truth can be known. Wildcat is remembering a picture that's in our coffee table book that we wrote back in the early 90s called The Boys Are... What the hell is it called? The Boys Are Back. Yeah. And in it is a big photo, probably a full-page photo of Troy. Oh, you might be thinking of something else. In this thing, there's a picture of Aikman, and he shows up for training camp in Austin, and he's got blue jean shorts. Remember those? Jorts. Yeah, he got jorts on, and it's in my memory because I had it. We all had them, and they weren't very good.
It was like the leisure suit.
It was like a leisure suit.
It needs to be left in the past.
Only shorts. Arkansas Dave. Joe Buck and Troy make a good team. Not as good as Jim and Tony. My only issue with Romo is this year he's trying to be silly. Have you noticed it? He's singing, he's dancing, he's telling jokes. What does he think that show is? The Fish Report? Joe King. I was watching an interview with Ryan Leaf yesterday. His opinion is that Mike McCarthy will be the reason that the Cowboys won't go all the way. Richie Witt and I sat down at the Star to discuss this very issue. And Witt is scared of the same thing, that there's going to be some gigantic time management decision that gets botched. You could also be afraid Connor Williams is going to make some penalty that's going to screw things up at just the wrong time. Let me just say to Ryan Leaf about Mike McCarthy, you can't go 7-2 and not have the head coach do 100,000 things right. And Ryan knows that. Yeah, Moda, jorts and leisure suits together. Fantastic. Roger, Brian Van Pelt, your discussion with Skip and Stephen A. I would ask you politely, I would go to last night's Fish at 6. Second half of it, and just sit down and absorb. The whole thing. The second half of it's more about Jimmy Jerry. The first half, I delve into a little bit about how Stephen A. Smith is an actor. He does not dislike the Cowboys. He doesn't know anything about the Cowboys. He's just reading a script that he wrote. Skip is a human hemorrhoid. Skip's bad in every way. There's nothing bad about Stephen A. Smith. He's just an entertainer. He's a comedian. He's an actor. The other guy represents an illness in this industry. John V, do you have any shirts for sale? Hey, CowboysSI.com. There'll be a link below this video for Uncle Fish Store. And the straight dope is flying. I would love to say that CowboysSI.com is the most popular. Yeah, I would love to say that exclusive is the most popular. It's good. Fish out is popular, but straight dope, the kids seem to like it. You know what I mean? So go to Scylla's store down below, the Uncle Fish store, and get yourself some goods. Charlie P makes a good point about Ryan Leaf. No offense to anybody. Well, there's a quality source. I don't even know that Ryan Leaf barely knows Mike McCarthy. So I'm going to say that Ryan Leaf is probably trying to throw out fireball sports opinions to get attention for some project, and that's fine. Arkansas Dave, is Skip tight with Jerry Jones? Are you out of your mind? After Skip wrote the second book, after he wrote the Landry book and tried to pretend that Landry's religion was fake. Then Jerry's crew came in here and they talked to Skip for his first book. And then the book came out and they never spoke to him again. Skip did a book on Jimmy Johnson and couldn't get Jimmy Johnson to do 10 seconds of interview with him. Skip Bayless has not had a connection inside this building since he used to go drinking and whatever elsing with Dexter Clinkscale in like 1986. Dexter Clinkscale is Skip's proudest Cowboy connection. And I'm not kidding. And I don't know what they were chasing out there on Friday nights, but they chased it. Item number 3. As we've covered the Aikman and as we've covered the embarrassment of the head coach, of the coordinator, issue number 3, aggressiveness. And we've had this discussion before, and it's maybe it's more complex than I'm making it. I'm sure. I know, Joe, I'm picking on the Skip Scab, but you guys bring it up. The Skip Scab is a good thing to call it. Fish, quit picking the Skip Scab. Very good. And again, if you guys don't bring it up, I won't. Promise you. Believe me, I got Cowboys to talk about. Zeke and Kellen Moore both talking about the go for it. All right, here we go again. Joe Lethal Taylor. Y'all clearly don't know Skip Bayless if you think his diehard Cowboys fandom is fake. You think you know Skip Bayless better than I do. Joe, every single bone in that tiny man's body is fake. He is not a Cowboy fan. He does not have Cowboy knowledge. He does not have Cowboys connections. He does not have Cowboy sources. He doesn't care about the Cowboys. If you're old enough to remember, he used to be anti-Cowboy on TV. Then he realized, no, wait a minute, we're going to have Steven be anti-Cowboy. I'll be pro-Cowboy. And that's a fact. Joe, you're embarrassing yourself. I'm going to do you a favor. I'm not going to take down your ridiculous comments, but you might do yourself a favor and take down your ridiculous comment. There's nobody on here that knows Skip Bayless better than I know him. And there's nobody that's known Skip Bayless in this industry for 32 years that doesn't think that he is a disease. Zeke said, we're going to go for it, whether you like it or not. And we don't always like it. I don't think it's always wise. On 4th and whatever, we're going for it. Look at us. But I like the attitude that's been instilled in the players by guess who? Mike McCarthy. There's another notch in his belt. These players believe that on 4th and 2, they're going to get it and they're going to go for it because, in part, they work on it in practice. And because the head coach and the offensive coordinator has told them we're pretty much a go for it team. Now, there's strategy behind it. Zeke's point is we're going to bow our necks and go because we're better, we're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster. There's something else to it. Kellen Moore says we now live in an NFL where everybody's scoring 30 points, where possessions are more valuable than ever. And we always say, boy, this is another reason I hate Twitter. You're not going to, when a team kicks a field goal, you're not going to win on field goals. You got to score touchdowns. Really? Thank you. Because it's a great point. Because it's more than twice as many points. Sometimes you have to kick field goals. It's not always good to go for it on 4th and 2. But Kellen Moore's point, and McCarthy and him have kind of brainstormed on this together. Take the talent we have on defense and the atmosphere in the NFL right now, which is you better take all the shots you can to get to 30 points, because the other team is probably going to get there. Now, this year's Cowboy defense holding opponents to 22 points per game as opposed to 32 last year. But that's where the go for it mindset comes from. It is something that the coaches have instilled in the players. It gives the players almost a blind confidence in what we're able to do. But for the coaches, it's not about blindness. It's strategic. It's about what the league is right now. And Kellen goes, I like it. I'm biased. I'm an offensive coach. But I think that even if you're a defensive coach, you admire it and understand it. Because if you're a defensive coach, the fact that my offense is going for it on 4th and 2 and generally has a good chance, given this group's offensive skill set, generally has a good chance, that helps my chances of winning, especially if my defense happens to give up 30 points. We will have all sorts of Cowboys Chiefs information for you too. Reminder to go to that Uncle Fish store. I think you're going to like it. There's some fun stuff in there. And it is Christmas time. A bunch of you have sent me emails saying, I think I'd like to do the fish art project. So hit me back and let's be specific. I need you to send me the photos you want. I'll paint them in a watercolor-esque way, around $100 or so, and off she goes. So contact me, dbmrfish19@yahoo.com. Eric, is Bossman Fat active? He is active, and he is involved on special teams, probably for the first time in his adult life, playing special teams and playing him pretty well. Roger B, do you feel like we're on our way to Doomsday 3? No, I don't think this defense is particularly good. I think this defense is average, but then has a penchant for playmaking that's above average. And the next thing you know, you've got, as we've talked about a lot in the last decade, trying to marry a good offense and make the defense just good enough. If you're a top 5 offense and a top 15 defense, you got a chance to be good. Fish out.